Only 5 days remaining before Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's contract comes to an end. We've heard a lot of reports regarding how Fannie Masemola feels about this extension and that he doesn't oppose to it, as well as the Premier, that I don't have a problem. But that's the thing. We haven't heard anything with regards to him actually being given another contract for another 5 years. We've just been hearing rumors, but nothing confirmed from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi or Fannie Masemola. Could it be that what is going on right now with Fannie Masemola and the possible charges by the IDAC is going to disturb the process of renewal of the contract of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi? In this video, let us talk about the current developments and whether the contract of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi will actually ever be renewed.
It comes down to the National Commissioner, and now with him being in the position that he's in now, because there is still a conversation about what his future is going to look like. Whether that's going to have implications on this contract, we don't know. But it's not physically sitting on his desk because there are those legal elements, the HR issues, all of that needs to be sorted out. And as we know, it's not him directly that deals with those elements.
Yeah. From today, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is only left with 5 days before his contract ends. And we have not heard anything from the National Police Commissioner, from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi himself. Instead, we have heard really disturbing rumors that there might be charges. Actually, he's going to be charged because even the Minister of Police did confirm that he's going to be charged. The National Police Commissioner is going to be charged in terms of the PFMA.
The questions about how we respond to the fact that he has been charged, and I must make it clear that General Masimola has been charged. The charges are under Section 38 of the Public Finance Management Act. So that concerns the standards that an accounting officer must meet in dealing, for instance, with procurement decisions. The others have been charged, as far as I understand it, with corruption. General Masemola has not been charged with corruption, but of course he has been charged under procurement legislation, the Public Finance Management Act, which is serious enough. Now, to your question, he is still the National Commissioner, but of course a decision has to be made about how we should respond to the fact that he has been charged.
To those who don't know what is the PFMA, I did make a video regarding the PFMA. Please go, guys, watch that particular video so that you can understand and have some background understanding regarding the PFMA. So people are saying that this was used or is used as a tactic to delay this process of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi being reappointed as the KZN Police Commissioner. We know that it's not a lot of people that are actually happy about the work that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is doing in the police and his role. Even though a lot of trade unions have called for Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to be the next National Police Commissioner.
Indeed, from the side of SAPU, we do welcome the confirmation by the National Commissioner on the renewal of the contract of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as the KZN Commissioner for the next 5 years. Because, I mean, us as a union, we know him. He's a seasoned police officer even before the 6th of July 2025 through the media, through that press briefing and what followed through. He's a seasoned police officer. He is also a member of a special task force. I mean, he's quite trained, very well trained as a special forces member as well. And indeed, he's been doing a great work in KwaZulu-Natal and also in policing. And we've always been advocating to say that seasoned police officers are the ones indeed who should become the National Commissioner. When you look at him now being the Provincial Commissioner, he's still young. The age still allows him. Maybe he may become the National Commissioner.
And not just the trade unions, even some of the people like Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, they've called for Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to come and be the next National Police Commissioner, especially since Fannie Masemola might be suspended. The president has not confirmed anything. Actually, the Minister of Police as well as the president are going to have a meeting today.
Yes, yesterday was a little bit of a roller coaster. Once this was brought to my attention. So let me give your listeners an update about what happened yesterday and what steps the President and I are taking. First of all, after the cabinet meeting yesterday, I met with the President together with Minister Kubai, the Minister of Justice. We had a preliminary discussion about options in the light of the decisions taken by IDAC. Today, I will provide the President with a memorandum setting out my views about what those options might be. But I must point out that the decisions concerning appointments of national commissioners are regulated by the Constitution and by the SAPS Act, and that those decisions are to be taken by the President. Today, let me just go through. Go ahead and ask me a question if you need to.
No, sorry for interrupting. You can continue, okay. Yes.
All right, so later today I will meet with, I have spoken with General Masemola yesterday. Today I will meet with the Board of Commissioners, that's the senior management of the police service, to engage them on the situation that the South African Police Service confronts and to share my views about the steps that need to be taken. I had a discussion yesterday with General Nhlanhla, who's responsible for human resource management. She will come back to me today on the steps that we need to take to fill any capacity gaps that might arise from the fact that so many senior officers have now been charged criminally.
But if these people actually play this game of chess properly, Fannie Masemola, if he gets removed from his position or anything happens to him which hinders him from making any decisions, and they appoint someone that is anti-Mkhwanazi, high chances the contract of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi may not be extended. We are looking at a very crucial time right now in the South African law or South African politics or the SAPS itself, because Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is loved by the public. The public want him to stay in the SAPS. I don't know about whether we all want him to be the National Police Commissioner. I want him to be the National Police Commissioner. But there's other people that have raised really significant and important points, such as the fact that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is still implicated somehow in the Madlanga Commission. They don't want to seem as biased. This process is still ongoing, and the complainant is Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. Up until the Madlanga Commission ends, none of the people that are there, part of that whole thing, should be given any positions or should be promoted in a way. They should stay in the positions where they are. But that's the thing, who can take over from him? There is Lieutenant General Lineo, who's the Deputy National Police Commissioner. That's the only Deputy National Police Commissioner that is not implicated. Musikili is implicated and even is investigated by IPED. Umamusintumule, the BBL lady, she's also heavily implicated there at the Madlanga Commission. So that's the only person that is remaining. It's Lineo who can end up taking over. I don't know if they call her Lineo or Dineo, but if depends on the language. But that's the person that looks like she's more highly likely to end up being the acting National Police Commissioner. But who is she part of? Which part is she actually endorsing? Is she going to do what is right, or she's going to be controlled also by the cartels? Because remember that the fact that the time, because guys, remember the timing. The IDAC could have done this a long time ago, and I think this is because of the timing. One of the biggest critiques that they've received is who actually can be given credit for this whole thing. Others have said it's the Madlanga Commission, others have said it's the Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, NPA says it's them, and the IPED says it's them, because they said that they've been investigating this even 2 years prior, the press brief of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. But that's the thing, they've not acted, and then they come specifically at the time. 5 days before Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's contract actually comes to an end. Something is going on, guys. Something is going on. And also today we had explosives from CIC Julius Malema, who said that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was actually gossiping the National Police Commissioner. I also think that this interview, I love the CIC guys. Those who have been in this channel for a very long time. I used to be a voter of the EFF. I don't know if I'm going to be though. I'm going to continue being the voter of the EFF. But I used to be the voter of the EFF. And one of the things that I realized is that the CIC coming with this gaxas, I know probably he's reciprocating what is actually going on, and the people actually giving him some backlash, especially after he called Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi a coward.
There are people who've characterized your criticism of Mkhwanazi as an attack. I even saw Mbuyiseni Ndlovu tweeting that Mkhwanazi must be shielded from all petty, egotistical, pompous, and parasitic attacks. You don't think that was an attack, do you?
No. And that's why I'm repeating it. Anyone can hold any view, any short syndrome man's view on this matter. I don't care. I've got my own views and I speak facts.
But he said something that really made me to feel uneasy in a way. He said, one thing about Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is that he gossiped Fannie Masemola to him and said that he can't write. All the things that he knows is because of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. We also know that the CIC guys knew way before that Fannie Masemola has to be arrested. There's actually a warrant of arrest. And from what we are hearing from him is that he's been meeting with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi has been criticizing Fannie Masemola.
And he says, yeah, Malema, who is known, Khan who's very known to Julius Malema and all of that. But he doesn't tell how. And he says, I met Malema through Khan. He doesn't tell how he met me. He called, I went, and if we had a media with research capacity in South Africa, you should be playing that clip. I went to a rally in KZN. I criticized him about AKA's matter. I said, Mkhwanazi, before we did this July thing, our favorite provincial commissioner, I love him so much, but I'm beginning to have doubts because he's not making a move on AKA's case, where a killer kills such a high-profile person in front of a camera, and we can't find that person. That makes mockery of the whole policing system in South Africa. Sensitive Mkhwanazi couldn't take that criticism. He called Khan and asked for a meeting with me, and Khan called me. Khan is well known. Khan is a comrade, well known to me. I knew him from the ANC time. In as much as I know so many of all of them, I'm not an arrivalist in the national politics. I know a lot of people. Khan says, no, there is this guy who is asking to see you. And then I said, okay, that's fine. If you are comfortable and you know him, you can come and we meet. He comes with Khan. Vianney Pambu was there. Vianney received them into the meeting. And that's when he gave me a brief about AK's case. And said the guys are arrested. But they're not arrested because of AKA's case. They're arrested about something else. I'm just at the tail end of finishing the evidence on AKA's matter. Then I'm going to charge them with AKA's matter. But I would not reveal it, because if I reveal it, Begitel is going to tamper with this evidence and mess up this case.
So just to clarify then, he is the one that contacted Khan, because I listened to that clip again this morning. The suggestion he makes is, Khan, for some reason you asked Khan then to arrange a meeting with him, and he said in that clip, we didn't need Khan to arrange this meeting. You could have just contacted him directly.
I didn't want anything. I called him for a meeting for what? I didn't want anything from him. What did he? When I called him, we must say I called Khan to call him because of what? I once said in a press conference, Masemola, General Masemola can't send an email. He can't type. He's got no capacity. He can't send an email. I was told by Mkhwanazi in that meeting that Masemola can't write an email. He told me that in that meeting. You can ask Khan about it. You can ask Vianney about it. And that's when I was confident to say it in public, because it came from a credible cop that the National Commissioner doesn't know how to send an email, and he has surrounded himself with female generals because he's scared of male generals who are going to challenge him because he's got no capacity. And I said that. I repeated that in public in confidence because I was told by him.
So now we're seeing a different element altogether of Mkhwanazi now being painted as this man who criticizes the National Police Commissioner. That makes you wonder, is he also part of this whole thing? Of which, guys, that's what I'm saying, that it's complex. It makes one to have a lot of question around this whole thing. But what I know is that the timing of everything matters. The fact that things are happening now, 5 days before the end of the contract, I think it's something that we should ponder on. Julius Malema could have met with Clement next month, could have met any time. But the fact that he's meeting with him right now after Masemola is receiving this news, and also after Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is being recommended as the new national deputy, the new national police commissioner. People, that's what they want. Julius Malema even said it in this interview that he vouched for Usintumule. He felt like Usintumule should be the one who takes over. But Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, probably that didn't sit well with him, hence he retaliated. He painted Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi as this man who acts whenever you don't agree with him. He just becomes a person who acts. He just will, act just like that. And to me, that came across as okay. I didn't expect it from Julius Malema, but we know that everybody's trying to protect themselves and their political parties, especially in this year of the local elections. And we know how this year is important.
And speaking of General Mkhwanazi, have you buried the hatchet with him? I know you were unhappy about what he said about your relations with General Khan. What exactly were you unhappy about regarding the statement he made?
Mkhwanazi, firstly, he's very sensitive. He thinks he can't be criticized or anyone must say anything good about any other police officer except himself. And that has got nothing to do with what he has presented. I will deal with those facts when it comes to the ad hoc committee. I'll participate objectively, and that's me. I don't care about who thinks what about me. I deal with the truth. He goes to Madlanga Commission. He speaks about General Khan. And he says to Madlanga Commission, you remember General Khan is that one who attended a dinner of the EFF. He just throws the EFF into the space where it's not necessary. General Khan he doesn't need a definition of the EFF. It's General Khan who's employed in SAPS, and this is his level. He says he exonerated him because he's a good police officer. If anything, the police should have given Khan an award for doing what he did when he stopped some corrupt police from stealing drugs. Then he goes to the ad hoc committee. He speaks very badly of me, and I'm not there. I'm mourning. I've got a funeral at home. I've taken leave of absence to go and attend to the funeral at home. I'm not at the ad hoc committee. He says the things about me which he didn't say when I was there. He says, some of you MPs here, because that's how he speaks. He speaks us in a very condescending manner. Like, some of you here are praising Sintumule, that Sintumule can be a national commissioner. She can be. She's highly qualified. And I never said she must be. I said, look at your credentials. They get destroyed by a spare of a moment because you interacted with a criminal. And all of that work you did in the police gets destroyed. But if we were to look for a female, a national commissioner, you stand a very good chance, but you messed it up by entangling yourself with criminals. That I spoke good about Sintumule, and that Sintumule can be a national commissioner and not him. That is an offense, because if you don't speak about him as a national commissioner, he takes offense about that.
But I just wanted you guys to ponder on this thought, to think about it. Could it be that this is happening because of the 5 days that is left for Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to actually leave office? And would his contract actually be renewed? I just think that right now, before Fannie Masemola can even be dismissed or put on leave, or whatever the case may be, they should sign that contract. Oh my God, they should sign that contract. Otherwise, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is losing his job, especially if Fannie Masemola is going to be put on leave, because after today's meeting, we don't know what will happen. Nonetheless, guys, let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear what you think. I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.